Hey guys, it's the Man of Minecraft, and a little bit of a preface before the video or the main part of the video begins. So this is basically a storytelling video where I tell you an event that actually happened about 2 weeks ago because it was at the beginning of my Colorado trip, which I came home from about a week ago. And as soon as the event happened, I knew I wanted to do a story on it. But basically what I do is I do some commentary and I tell you a story with gameplay in the background, and yeah, I'm just trying to see if you guys like it because I thought it might be really fun to do. So without further ado, let's get right in. And if you do enjoy this, leave a like. Maybe we can get to 20 likes. So this story starts off with the same beginning as a lot of other stories. So everything was going to plan, and we were to meet my mom up at the rental car that she was getting while we got all the luggage. So we loaded everything into the cars, including the skis, and we had to put a seat down. So it was a little bit cramped, but otherwise fine. So we're driving down the road, right? But wait, flashback to when I'm loading my luggage in the trunk. Look, turn your head just a little bit down. And what? A Florida license plate? What? A Florida license plate in Colorado. So now, time for a geography, geometry, algebra. Oh, whatever. Okay, time for a lesson of sorts. So, in Florida, they have very little snow or ice. You know, it happens to be pretty nice, warm, sunny in Florida, but in Colorado, there's a lot of snow and ice. So if you can put two and two together, that means that a car that works well in Florida is not going to work well in Colorado. But you know, we kind of let that slip over our heads, and we kind of didn't really pay attention to the license plate. So we don't really notice everything, so everything's going fine until we start driving up this uphill icy road, and we stop. We literally just stop in the middle of the road. Our tires are slipping, like we're not moving, like we're just slipping here, and we're like, oh no. And also it's snowing, and we can't really see that well, and the windshield wipers are making this horrendous noise, like because the fluid is not freeze proof. So basically the windshield wiper fluid wasn't even coming out, so it was just like wiping like this the rubber from the windshield wipers against like a dry window, and it was a pretty painful noise, and it was just making the vision worse, to be honest. But we were very lucky because a truck, and get this, guess what company the truck was from? Guess what? The same rental company. This truck was also stuck in the road next to us, so we were blocking the entire road, which meant that no cars could pass through, so no one would come whizzing by, which is really good because, you know, that might have saved us or something. So we're in the left lane, which is for fast passengers, while the truck is in the right lane, which is for slow passengers. And, anyways, we're, like, freaking out. So we start calling up the company, and we're like, OMG, why is the car not all-wheel drive? And what do these plus and minus buttons do on the, transmission? And how can we get unstuck and stuff like that? And the lady tells us that we could try to drive back to the airport to get a different car. And we're like, no way! We've been driving for too long. So she says they'll meet up with us and drop off a car late that night or tomorrow, and that we should turn traction control off and get off the road. And so, you know, we do all this advice, we pass through this mountain, it's all sunny, everything's good, and things seem to be fine until all of a sudden a cop pulls us over. So with all the craziness of the issues and talking on the phone, well, my mom was talking on the phone, my dad didn't realize that after he got out of the ice, he was going over the speed limit. So meanwhile, my mom is still on the phone with the lady from the rental agency, and she is freaking out because she feels so bad, and she also thinks that we're gonna get fined a ton for the wrong tires, because, you know, she's like, oh my god, you don't have the wrong tires, oh, you're gonna get this huge fine. But my dad explains the story to the policeman. He's very polite, so he gets off with a warning. So we keep going, right? And, you know, you think, okay, whatever, you got stuck in the road, you got pulled over, the adventure's over, right? Nope. So we get to the place where we're going to stay, and then we realize once we go down this ice-covered downhill sloping driveway, we're not getting back out. Also, by this point, we're deliriously hungry since we haven't eaten since breakfast, and it's almost nighttime, so we need to get food. And there's no time to go to a restaurant because there's not that much sun, and we want to unpack the car while it's still semi-light. Because if we would have been able to get back up the hill, we would unpack the car, then go to the restaurant. So we decide to go to this, rather than go to a restaurant, we decide to go to the supermarket. And we're so hungry. We're just grabbing everything that we see. We're just grabbing food left and right because we are just so hungry. And yeah, anyways, so we go back home, and as I said earlier, the car was a little bit cramped with the skis, so you can imagine we spent way too much money on the food because you never go shopping when you're hungry. We literally had food in shopping bags on our laps. That's how cramped we were. And as we're driving along, so we're like, whatever, we're about to get home, we're so hungry, and then we hear something crack in the back of the truck, and we hear the eggs fall, and we're like, oh no, and we start making jokes about oh god, we're gonna have to be making omelets in the car or something like that. But anyways, everything's okay by the time we get to the house. We unpack the car, and then we start feasting. I had all this awesome stuff. I had meat on bread, some of the hot pre-cooked chicken that we grabbed, pasta, chips with hummus, and guacamole. And yeah, next day they actually gave us a pretty nice car, so everything worked out. But this was one evil rental car. I mean, listen to the stuff it put us through. First of all, we got stuck in the middle of a crazy road, then we get pulled over, then it leads us to have to go to the supermarket and start grabbing food. So this is definitely one evil rental car. So I guess the lesson is, make sure that the license plate on your car would actually be from a state that car would work fine in. So if you're staying in Colorado, make sure it's not a Florida license plate. Now, that's some pretty top-notch advice, if I do say so. I mean, I can't believe that they gave us a front-wheel drive car in Colorado. I mean, what were they thinking? Seriously. But whatever. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. So if you did, I would really appreciate if you dropped a like. As I said earlier, maybe we can get to 20 likes. And my name's Minecraft, and I'm signing off. So thanks so much for watching.